Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you demo about implementing push notification in .NET MAUI for the iOS platform. So I already created one video on implementing push notification for Android platform. So same project I am going to use here for iOS platform also. And we noticed that in Android, when the notification was received and when we click on notification, that time application was crashing. So I found the solution for it. So let's implement that solution first. So here in a Firebase service, first you need to set this intent. So when we send the notification, that time we are creating intent here. So here in an intent, just add flags single top, so it's going to receive notification on the same activity instead of creating new activity. Okay, now let me run the application. So when the user click on notification, that time application is not going to crash. Okay, so here notification received. Now when I click on notification, our application is not crashing, but it's creating new intent. It's not creating new activity. So this code is now not going to work, whatever the navigation ID that we received from notification, we saved in preferences. So this code now I need to add here in on new intent. So when the new intent was created, so that time this intent contained notification related data. So now when I click on notification, it's just going to save data in preferences. Okay, so now when I tap on notification, it's just going to invoke this on new intent and data stored in preferences. Okay, now to communicate from Android platform page main activity to here on main page, so I need to use messaging center. So that messaging center was deprecated in .NET MAUI, so I need to use WeakReferenceMessenger. So for that, let me install community toolkit.mvvm plugin in this project. So this plugin I am just going to install in our push notification project. Okay, and here in models, I'm just going to add another model called push notification receive model. And here I will use value change message, and that our message going to be in string format. Okay, now let me register this push notification received class with weak reference messenger here on main page.jam.cs. So here I'm just going to use weak reference messenger default register. In that I'm just going to specify this push notification received class. Okay, so here it's just going to receive the message in a string format. Okay, so this message dot value going to received in string format because we define here value change message as a type of string, so that's just going to receive in string format. Now let me just send this weak reference messenger from main activity. So here when the notification is received, then I'm just going to call here weak reference messenger dot send. In that I will just pass this push notification received class with the parameter, like whatever the value you want you can pass. Even you can pass this notification, but I saved in preferences because like when the application close and again reopen the application, then from the preferences it's just going to navigate. So here let me just add one method. Okay, now let me run the application. So here when this weak reference messenger invoke, that time it's just going to call this method, and from the preferences it's just going to navigate to particular page. And if the application is closed and data stored in preferences, so when the user open the application, that time also it's just going to navigate to page based on the navigation ID. Okay, here notification received, and when I tap here, so it's navigated to another page. Okay, so this Android issue was fixed. Now let's implement push notification for the iOS. Okay, so for the iOS platform, first we need to create Apple development certificate, bundle identifier, then the provisional profile and APN key for the push notification in Apple developer account. So let me just show you. So here I just created one blog related to this. I will add this link in video description. So first you need to create a development certificate in your Apple developer account. So if you have an Apple developer account, then you will see this option certificate identifier, devices and profiles. So this all option you will able to see that. So just create a development certificate and then download it and install in your Mac system. After that you need to create a bundle identifier of your application. So just add bundle identifier of your application with the whatever the application ID you are using in your project. So just click on your project and click on properties. So here in MAUI shared option you will see this application ID. So this application ID used as a package name in Android and bundle identifier in iOS. So with the same application ID you need to create a bundle identifier here in Apple developer account. After that just add your real device in devices section, because for testing push notification you cannot test that in simulator, so you need real device. So just add that device ID here in devices section. After that just create a provisional profile, development or distribution provisional profile here in profile section with this bundle identifier option. So after that just download it and install in your Mac system. Okay, so once the profile is created, after that just add APN key in a keys option, so that key will be used for push notification, and you need to save that in some safe place because you can only download it once. After that you cannot download it again. Okay, so once all the certificate creation is done, Now you can add, you can create your project in Firebase console. So here in a Firebase console, just create your project, and if you have already created project, just click on existing project. After that, just click on add app section and see here select iOS option. So here just need to add application ID that we just seen. So that application ID just add it, and then just click on register option, and after that just download the config file. So I already created it. Okay, so after downloading GoogleService-info.plist file, you need to do another configuration, is adding APN authentication key here in a newly created iOS application. So for that, just click on project setting option and then select cloud messaging tab, and there you just need to upload that APN authentication key that you created in Apple developer account. After that, here you need to add key ID and the team ID. So key ID you will get from keys section, like the key that you created in Apple developer account. So that just click on that key. There you will see the key ID of your APN authentication key. And for the team ID, so you will get that from the membership detail page of Apple developer account. From there you will find the team ID. So just add that APN authentication key with this all detail and just upload it. So once it uploaded, then that certificate related stuff and this cloud messaging related stuff is done. Now we can implement that in our project. So let's do that. Okay, so now let me add that Google Service info.plist file in iOS platform. So here in iOS folder, I'm just going to add that Google Service.info.plist file. And here in a Xamarin, when you click here on properties, then you will see here build action as a bundle resource, but that option is not available in .NET MAUI. So for that, here we manually need to modify in this project file. So just right click on your project and click on edit project file. And here you need to add item group with that GoogleService.info.plist file part. So let me add here. So the way it did for Android, so same way we need to do for iOS. So here I'm just going to add another item group that just going to point iOS platform, and here instead of GoogleService.json we need to use BundleResource. And here I will just provide that GoogleService-info.plist part. Also same part here I'm just going to specify here in link option. Okay, so this project is already connected with my system. So here in a project properties, I'm just going to select iOS bundle signing option to manual provisioning, and here I will just select my Apple developer account, and it automatically going to identify my provisional profile if it is installed on my Mac system. So it's already installed. Now here I'm just going to select iOS remote device, and I will just select my device here. And now let me just try to run this application. Okay, so it's deploying on my iOS device. So here in any DAX, I'm just going to use this QuickTime player. to mirror my iOS device. Okay, so this application was installed here, but it's not launched. So let me again try to run. Okay, so now it's run. Sometimes it show error like this, just you need to rebuild. So now that our that code we added bundle resource in a project file that's working now. Let's add push notification related code for iOS platform. Okay, so first here in a dependency of .NET 7 iOS, I'm just going to click on here in manage NuGet packages, and I'm just going to install Firebase Cloud Messaging plugin. So just search for Firebase.cloud messaging and just install that in your project. Okay. Now once you install this plugin, here in a app delegate.cs file, I'm just going to write finish launching method, and in that I'm just going to configure Firebase. So like if you add any other Firebase service with like cloud messaging or Firebase analytic, so it's just going to configure based on this file, that GoogleService-info.plist file we added. So after that we can use any Google service for iOS platform. Now let me request for the permission for the push notification in iOS. So for that, here I am just going to check UI device, that current device check system version is greater than 10. So if it is Android iOS 10 and above version, then here I am just going to request for. So either badge, alert, or sound. With this option, I am just going to request for the permission. So request authorization, and in that I will pass these auth options that we here specified. And now, like once the request is granted, or is there any error occur, so based on that you can just display some message. So if it is true, means that that permission is granted for the push notification. If it is false, then you can like display some message. Now for generating device token, so here messaging dot set instance dot auto init enable, I'm just going to set to true. And here messaging dot set instance dot delegate, so I need to set iMessaging delegate here. So for that, here I'm just going to use iMessaging delegate interface. Here I'm just going to add, and that now I can set here. So it's just going to set iMessaging delegate to this messaging dot set instance dot delegate. Now I can just register for remote notification. Okay. Here in a iMessaging delegate, this did receive registration token method exists. So when user install the application, so that time it just going to receive the registration token. So let's export this did receive registration token method here in app delegate. So here I'm just going to create one method did receive registration token with this two parameter. One is a messaging type object and another is just string format registration token. Here I am just going to export this selector method. So this selector I'm just going to specify here. So when the user install the application, that time based on selector, this method is going to invoke. Now this registration token I'm just going to add in preferences the way I did for Android. So here in Firebase service, let me copy this code, and this code I'm just going to add here. Okay, now I'm just going to create a user notification delegate. So when the notification is received, then we can handle the navigation, like which page we want to navigate. So for that, here let me create one class in iOS. I'm just going to create user notification center delegate class. And this class is going to extend one user notification center delegate. And here I'm just going to override will present notification. So when the application open and notification received, then it is going to just display the notification. Okay, and another method I'm just going to override is did receive notification response. So when the notification is received, then this method is going to invoke. Now this user notification center delegate I'm just going to set here in app delegate. This newly created class I'm just going to add here. Okay, now here in info.plist file I'm just going to set notification permission. So here in background mode I'm just going to set remote notification and background fetch to true. Okay, so here application installed and asking for to allow push notification permission, as well as here registration token also received. That this token I'm just going to copy, and let me just continue and allow permission. Okay, now I'm just going to try to send notification using Postman. So before that, let me put debug point here in this user notification center delegate. So first I am just going to put debug here in will present notification. So let me open Postman and try to send notification. Here I am just going to add this token, and let's see. Okay, so now this method invoke will present notification, and here in a Mac notification received, but here screen mirroring is running. Due to that it's not showing, but if I pull down, then you will see this notification received here. Now let's handle, like if the user tapped on notification, then this method will invoke need receive notification response. So from the response I'm now going to navigate to particular page based on the condition, the way we did for Android. So let's add code related to that. Okay, so from this notification response, I'm just going to fetch what are the information sent from this notification data. So let's fetch that. So from the response dot notification dot request dot content, and from the content I'm just going to fetch user info. Okay, so from this user info request, and that going to contain navigation ID, so that ID I'm just going to fetch here, and let me set that in preferences. Okay, so same way I'm just going to do the way I did for Android. So I'm just going to set this in preferences, and after that I'm just going to call this weak reference messenger. So this navigation ID I set in preferences. After that I will just call this weak reference messenger dot send. Okay, now let me run the application, and let's see on the tab of notification it's navigating to other page or not. Okay, so here application launch. Now from the Postman I'm just going to send the notification. Okay, and from this notification I'm just going to tap, so it's navigated to new page. Okay, and another thing I want to say that push notification that we are sending, that we are using legacy version to send the push notification here on Postman fcm.google.play.com. So now the new way is to send notification is we need to use this fcm google apis.com, then we need to mention here project ID, then send, and then we need to generate a barrier token using Firebase admin SDK. Okay, so you can just take a look at this document to how you can use a new way to send a notification, and I will also create a new video on like how you can use Firebase admin SDK to send notification. So in next video I will just show you can use that Firebase admin SDK on a web also and a mobile also, and with that you can easily send the notification. Now here if I click here on click me button also, now it's just going to send the notification, and if I see here, so the notification is received, and on the top of that it navigated. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you like this video, and thank you so much for watching it.